Happy 4th of July. I'm going to go off topic today and turn from our tour of the Apostles' Creed in order to reflect for a few moments about a little of the background and meaning of the document whose formal adoption in 1776 we Americans celebrate today. Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas, and this is your daily devotional for Tuesday, July 4th, 2023. In April and May of 1776, the Continental Congress, meeting in Philadelphia, began to consider resolutions from North Carolina and Virginia to declare the United States independent of England. In early June, Congress appointed a committee of 5 delegates to draft a declaration for Congress to consider. Referred to imaginatively as the Committee of Five, the group began to meet to sketch out what such a declaration should include. The committee included John Adams of Massachusetts, Benjamin Franklin of Pennsylvania, Thomas Jefferson of Virginia, Robert Livingston of New York, and Roger Sherman of Connecticut. They soon drafted Jefferson to actually write the document. By late June, the committee reported back to Congress, which then met as a committee of the whole in order to edit the document. After several days of work, the Committee of the Whole voted to send the completed document to Congress itself. On Tuesday, July 2nd, Congress considered a resolution by Richard Henry Lee of Virginia declaring independence from England. There is a case to be made that July 2nd should be the day we celebrate independence, since that is the day that the Continental Congress actually voted to become independent. So why do we celebrate July 4th? That was the day the final draft of the Declaration of Independence, written by the Committee of Five, was formally adopted. Every school child and every immigrant to the United States can quote at least portions of the opening lines by heart. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands with another and to assume the powers of the earth, the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect for the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Anyone with a passing knowledge of Thomas Jefferson knows that he was a deist. That means he was anything but an orthodox Christian. Deists placed their trust in the power of human reason as the only reliable source of knowledge about truth. They rejected any claims of knowledge based on divine revelation, and they understood God to be something like a divine engineer or architect, one who fashioned the world as a rational system of natural laws and who now simply sits back to watch his handiwork operate. As a deist, Jefferson still had a high regard for Jesus, but he considered him not to be the divine Son of God, but merely a great philosopher-teacher. Jefferson even went so far as to produce a shortened version of the Gospels in which he removed any reference to miracles or healings and only included the teachings of Jesus. So when Jefferson spoke of nature's God, he wasn't thinking about the Trinitarian God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, but rather about that deist God, the divine architect. But Jefferson also calls nature's God Creator, a powerful image. It is in the order created by God that he lodged the most important and compelling idea in the Declaration. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. What he's saying here is actually something even a John Calvin could affirm, that knowledge of God is available to all people merely by observing the profound ordering of nature. Theologians call this natural revelation as opposed to special revelation, the revelation that comes through particular revelations found in holy texts. Jefferson's claim is that by human reason we can discern that God created all human beings equal, if not in intellect, reason, or wisdom, then in actual value. This was a very powerful and revolutionary idea at the time. It originated not with Jefferson, but with such European intellectuals as John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and Immanuel Kant. These and other philosophers of the Enlightenment revolutionized how we think about human beings. Before the Enlightenment, it was commonly understood that people were not created equal, but that God had created people unequal, some to labor in servitude and others to serve in positions of power, an order of creation that supported the vastly unequal treatment of people around the world. When Jefferson included this deistic language into the Declaration of Independence, he effectively put into play the notion of human equality. This idea reverberates around the world even today, and even remains controversial in some parts of the world. And why? Because it means that people's natural state is not servitude, but freedom. It would take another 90 years before the United States would finally confront the obvious contradiction to this that slavery represented, and even today this project, sorting out what equality means, remains unfinished. But even if it is unfinished, it remains the North Star by which we navigate the complicated waters of life together as a nation. All men created equal, a revolutionary idea. When we return tomorrow, we'll take up the final part of the Apostles' Creed. In the meantime, enjoy your 4th of July and think on this radical notion that all men are indeed created equal. But for now, may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.